20 years of great family outdoor entertainment. Stay tuned now for the Smoky Mountain Outdoorsman.
You know, you can search this whole world over, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a more beautiful place than these mountains we call home. Here in the Smoky Mountains, we have a saying: if you're lucky enough to live in these mountains, you're lucky enough.
Then I was really hooked. If you need to try to find me now on the waters now I fished all over this great land in all kinds of fishing holes. Caught every kind of fish there is with every kind of pole. If there's one thing I have learned in life, it's always fish the hatch. And the best fish you will ever land might be the next one that you catch. So I'm somewhere fishing out in God's great outdoors, admiring all his handiwork, sitting just off of some shore. With a good bass boat beneath me, rod and reel in my hand. God is great, the fishing's good, and I'm a lucky man. God is great, the fishing's good, ain't I a lucky man?
We got a special show for you today. Longtime friend. This guy has been after me 20 years. This is our 20th year. He's been after me 20 years to do a show with him. Right. And this guy right here, he's a bass legend, Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. My old buddy Guy Eaker. And 83 years old and still doing this.
Yes, sir.
And you're still working hard, aren't you?
Well, I am. Good Lord's blessed me and let me do something I love to do, and that's bass fishing, and ain't many people get the opportunity to do it for a living. And
oh, I know.
I was one of them. But yeah, I've known you for a long time, and we've been looking.
We've been trying to do this.
Do a show, and we come here on Lake Norman today.
Yeah, your lake, and you don't live far from here, and we're out here on the Bojangles boat today, and see if we can't catch some fish. What do you think?
We'll do it.
It's about that time, isn't
it? It is.
Let's go catch them.
I just hope they're biting today.
Yeah.
Just throw wherever you want to throw.
These fish may be on the bed. About the time dogwood start blooming at home, that's when,
yeah.
You know.
They had a tournament here last week, that big fish tournament.
Uh-huh.
And there were some fish actually caught off of that. Not a lot of them went up, but a lot of them are up. But
the guy's not been out here, so we're kind of experimenting and trying to find some stuff here and see if we can't catch us a few. He's throwing a little crankbait and I'm throwing a spinnerbait, and we'll just see. We'll see what happens. We may have to change it up several times.
That's exactly.
We'll figure it out.
I usually know about what they're doing over here, but I hadn't been over here in a good while. I've been doing a lot of shows.
Well, that's one thing Jimmy talked about down at the Classic. He said, you know, we fish for a living.
That's right.
But we don't get to fish.
That's right.
We got so much business stuff to do. It's hard to take time to.
It is. Somebody asked me one time, you know, how long I'd been married. This has been years ago. And I said 60 years. I said, well, no, probably 30. They said, what do you mean? I said, well, 30 of those years I was off fishing, gone, doing promotions. I said, the other 30 I live with my wife. But
yeah. Well, it's been a rough life in recent years, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah,
it sure has.
It really has. It has for both of us. But that's okay. God's got a plan. We don't know what it is, and we're both blessed, and
that's exactly right.
And still living a good life. And and I tell you what's really going to be special to me is when we get in your trophy room later today, when we go back, and we're going to show some of that on here. Man, that was amazing to see that this morning. All the tournaments you've won and all the pictures and all the mounts and all that stuff. I can't wait to show the people that. That's going to be pretty neat.
Well, I've said a lot of times, that I've been doing this for 46 years and had the Earl Benz behind me all this time and boats.
Yeah.
And been blessed.
As you tournament fish, I know you learn more and more. And you get to learn what fish do during seasons and all that kind of stuff, and then I just think that's experience and things you learn to do and everything, and some of it may be God's guidance,
Right. Exactly.
And you just learn how to do things, and then you use that experience over and over. You use that experience in a tournament, or you may use that experience in just general in life,
Well, yeah, a lot of people ask me about what they need to throw or what they need to do, and I said, man, I don't have to tell you no lie, but I'll tell you exactly what I throw, and somebody else might throw the opposite. There he is right there.
You got one?
Yeah, sure have. He's not very big, but I got one.
We don't care. We're just talking. We're just talking and fishing.
Yep. Come in here. A little spotted bass. Come up here, spotted bass.
There's a lot of spotted bass in
Oh,
here.
this thing is full of them.
You don't have to go to Lanier to catch
But
a spotted bass.
I'm throwing a little Fritz size bait today, and
Right.
in fact, a lot of times when I'm wanting to catch fish or it's tough, I can pick this little bait up and catch it.
Watch it.
I'll get it.
I don't care about the size of bass anymore. It's fun to catch a big one, but they're
As
all fun.
long as you're getting bites, that's the main thing.
The older I get, the less I worry about what species it is. Too,
Yeah. Yeah.
Some days I just like to go out and catch a bluegill or something.
Yeah.
My tournament days are long gone, and I prefer bass fishing, but I like it all. I
Yeah.
love to trout fish in the mountain streams, and been over close to Smoky Mountains. We do that pretty often.
Yeah, you've got a lot of them over there too.
Oh yeah, it's fun, but it seems like the older I get, I don't have any grandkids, and probably never will have, but take a kid fishing or whatever, and I've done a lot of kids fishing camps over the years, and most of the time that was bluegill.
Yeah.
And they're easy to catch, but it seems like the older I get, the less I care about what I'm fishing for.
Right.
Just fishing is fun.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm really excited about. I'm seeing a lot of the colleges and high school kids that started fishing, and it's getting away from them little push
Video
buttons.
games.
Exactly.
All
and
that stuff, yeah.
And their daddy comes in and don't know anything about bass fishing, but says, well, you help him. I said, I'll do exactly what I said before. I'll tell you what I would throw and what I'd buy and what I think he needs.
Oh, I get a lot of that too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I had a guy call me yesterday. He said my son is 12 and looking for a middle school team to fish on and everything. And so
go ahead.
No, go ahead. And I gave him a little advice and everything. I helped coach a middle school and high school team last year. I just got busy this year trying to sell a house and all this stuff. But I tell you, it's amazing how you talk about these young people wanting to fish and everything. It's amazing how quickly they pick it up.
There's a kid come in there and sat down. He was 12 years old with his dad, and his dad said, I don't know nothing about bass fishing, but said he knows a good bit. And I got to tell him some stuff, this to do, not to do. He got to tell me stuff to do.
Yeah.
He sat there and watched it on the internet, seen a lot of these shows, how to do, and but he was really excited about the fishing.
Well, that's one thing they've got now that we didn't have is the internet
Exactly.
to look at stuff and learn how to tie knots and do all that stuff. But a lot of the kids we work with, they've never fished before, and they really didn't know about putting a line on a reel.
No.
Or, we spent several days just learning how to cast.
Yep.
And they learned right quickly that they couldn't pick up a bait caster and just throw it,
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we did last year. It was the first year for the teams, and that's what we had to do. We had to start with the basics. And the sad thing is a lot of kids today don't have a granddad like I did or whoever to take you fishing, And
Yes.
I had a granddad lived across the road from me, and I tell people he didn't have a real job. He was a pastor.
Right.
You know, they just work Sundays and
I
Wednesdays.
knew that.
That's what people think. But I was oldest of the grandkids, so he took me fishing all the time and spent time with me, showed me how to do things, and a lot of kids today just don't have that.
My dad started taking me fishing when I was 4 years old, and I never forget the first time I went to Johns River, and it was real cold.
Right.
He took a bucket with sand in it and had I think it was a gallon jug of kerosene.
Right.
And I come home, I was black.
Right.
But I didn't freeze to death. But I fell in love with it. From then on, every time he went to fishing, I wanted to be with him or go with him.
Yeah.
This is the Bass Chaplain, and I hope to see you on the road.
Hey, this is Chris Wells, the Bass Chaplain, and you know, I get a chance to travel with the greatest bass pros in the universe. I'm the chaplain for the Bassmaster Elite Series and the Major League Fishing BPT Tour, so I'm on the road a lot. And one of the greatest parts of traveling is getting to see those guys, but the best part is when I actually get to come home. Coming home is nothing like coming home. You know, there are a lot of people today that are far, far away from God. But I just want to challenge you today. You know what? It is never too late for you to come back home. Call out to God. Come back home today. This is the Bass Chaplain. I hope to see you on the road.
Awful quiet, ain't John? Except leaf blower. No. Huh? Oh, it's on the other side of that dock. I've had one bite today, except that one right there.
Whirligig.
Oh, Lordy. I see what you've done, guy. You give me the...
I want to get you over here where the big ones live.
I may have to take some pliers after him. He's hung every way it could be hung.
Hey, I missed him. I like
was
to got
anyway.
you. Look here. He come back and hit it again.
What a hog right there.
Yeah, buddy.
Pretty, ain't it?
I don't know how the heck he missed that thing. I had a darn stinger hook on that thing too.
What?
I had a stinger hook on that thing. He hit it twice, missed it. But he did hit it.
Tony, man, I just want to say super proud of you. 20 years in the TV business. That's quite an accomplishment, and you know, just a great show you've always had there with Smoky Mountain Outdoorsman. I got to say, I'm pretty jealous. I mean, I think you've only had me on there once, but man, excellent job, and certainly enjoy your friendship, enjoy your stand for Christ, enjoy everything that you stand for, and really proud of you, man. 20 years is awesome.
I'd say this, that's the smallest fish I caught in a while. Guy, when I come down to your trophy room, I understand why you're in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. I've never seen anything like this. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, this little girl right here, 14 pounds, you know, and all these trophies and plaques and everything you've got. So you've been bass fishing a long time, tournament fishing a long time.
Right.
and won a lot of tournaments in your time.
Well, I tell you, you know, I've been blessed, just like I told you before. Anytime you can do something that you love to do and make a living doing it, you can't ask for much more.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and I see all these mounts that you have, and then we can kind of walk over here and trophies, mounts, all these Bassmaster plaques and everything. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this is just amazing.
Well, and then my wife one time said, "Guy, what are you going to do when you run out of room?" And I said, "I'm already out of room." She said, "What do you do with it?" I said, "Box them up."
Box them up.
But you know, I put
give us just a little highlight of your career.
Well, you know,
maybe the things that's meant the most to you. You know, as far as tournaments you've won or tournaments you fished in, maybe, or things like that.
Well, you know, I won a tournament in American Bass, and did I ever think I'd win a tournament in American Bass? Nah. But I did. I beat Dave Glebe by 3 ounces, and that was sort of a surprise to me. And then win my first tournament in BASS at Sound Raven, you know, another big thrill. And then I won a big tournament down on the Amazon. I thought that was something to go down and fish 200 miles up the Amazon. But one of my highlights was fishing with both Bushes.
Really?
The president. And I got to fish with him at Ray Scott's Lake, and in 4 years we raised enough money to build $1 million church. And real nice people.
Right.
You know, my wife, she said, I can't believe how nice they are. But he got a hook in his index finger while I was fishing. And it's got him about a 4-pounder, and everybody's looking, what are you going to do? So I jumped back there and get the fish off, and the surgeon was actually behind me.
Right.
And she said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to try to get this hook out. Well, she didn't like it too good.
Right.
And I said, well, I can get it out, ma'am, and he won't have to go to the hospital. So I told him I was going to count to 3, put that line on there.
Put the line on it, yeah.
And I said 1, 2, and jerked, and I ain't going to tell you what he said when I did that. But he said, how did you do that? I said, well, it's just a trick. You know, I've taken a lot of hooks out of a lot of different people. And then he said, where's the madam at? After the tournament's over, he said, I'm going to take you and Pat a tour on Air Force One.
Oh,
So we drove with him in a limousine all the way from Pittsburgh, Alabama to Montgomery. I called my daughter and my son and told them where I was at. They said, there ain't no way you're the president.
Yeah. Oh, Dad's lying.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad's lying to us.
And Mr. Bush says, no, he's not. I'm in here with him.
Yeah.
But we toured it.
Yeah.
And we wasn't supposed to take any pictures. He told Pat to take all the pictures you want and give them to me. He had them all developed and sent them to us. And then a little bit later on, I get a telephone call, and he said, Guy said, I'd like for you to come to my 50th wedding anniversary in Knoxville, in the Grand Ole Opry. And I said, well, yeah, I'd be tickled to death to come. He said, you got to wire a tuck. I said, I can wire a tuck. Yeah. So we went up there, and he introduced me to all the movie stars and everything. This Guy Eaker's my surgeon.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty neat deal. I mean, then I fished with his son, and he broke 2 of my rods while I was fishing. And he said, I'll buy them rods. I said, don't you worry about those rods. They give them to me. He said, well, I'm going to do something for you. I said, well, Nolan Ryan, I know you know Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
I said, he was one of my heroes in pitching. He said, you got it. He sent me a ball that's upstairs in my trophy case with his name on it.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, you know, I went to Sweden, shot some commercials for Abu Garcia, and I've been to Mexico, I've been to Brazil, and got to travel a lot. I've been to Cuba. I went to Cuba, we won the tournament in Cuba. There's 10 of us went down there, but a little guy being from Cherryville, North Carolina, would have never got to see none of that.
Lived here all his life.
I'd have never got to see none of that.
And you've traveled the world.
Exactly,
and fished everywhere.
I have. And,
you know, when I saw you last week at the Bassmasters Classic, I guess you have fished the Classic before, have you?
Yeah, 10 times I made the Classic.
You made the Classic 10 times.
Yeah. And made the Grand Prix 4 times in American Bass. And I won Angler of the Year in American Bass.
You know, and the Classic's still the Super Bowl
of
fishing, you know.
I've always said that, you know, you got other tournament trails out there, but BASS is the Super Bowl of bass fishing.
Yeah. But I tell you, this is one of the most amazing things that I've gotten to see, and you told me 20 years ago, said I want to do a show with you or whatever. And I never dreamed I'd be in your home here in Cherryville and see this. This is absolutely amazing.
Well,
and anybody that's followed your career over the year, I mean, honestly, to end the this part of the show today, we didn't do very good fishing today. But I tell you what,
that's fishing.
But I got to fish with one of my heroes.
Well, I appreciate that.
And
we had a great time.
We had a great time.
Good fellowship, and that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Guys, I hope you enjoyed what we've done today, and I wish all of you could be here. Now, I don't know if Guy would like that. We're going to see if he'll cook supper for us before we leave and head home. So, guys, until next week, may God bless you.
This is Jim Bowman thanking you for watching this week's episode of the Smoky Mountain Outdoorsman. Remember, make some real memories. Take a child fishing. See you next time on SMO.